They were pinned down, outnumbered, and out of hope. The radio screamed for backup, but the nearest support was an hour away. Marines whispered the same question over and over. Who's going to save us? Then, from the ridge above, a single rifle shot cracked through the chaos. The valley went silent. And when the dust cleared, the soldier who had saved them all was the one they'd ignored from the start. This is the untold story of Corporal Naomi Cross, the sniper nobody counted on until her thunderous rifle spoke from the ridge. Welcome to Truth Untwists, where hidden legends of courage finally come to light. Subscribe now so you never miss the stories history books almost left behind. Corporal Naomi Cross wasn't the kind of Marine you noticed in formation. Average height, quiet demeanor, more comfortable with books than bravado. She'd grown up in the pine forests of Oregon, hunting deer with her father. Long days in the wilderness taught her patience, silence, and how to read the wind. She could wait for hours, motionless, until the shot was perfect. But when she enlisted, few saw potential in the bookish recruit. During training, other Marines called her Librarian. Some respected her skill on the range, but most dismissed it as luck. Her commanding officer assigned her as a support gunner, not a sniper. "Cross," he told her bluntly, "you're steady, but you don't have the killer instinct." Naomi didn't argue. She just kept practicing, refining her breathing, learning every angle of her rifle like a musician mastering an instrument. It was late autumn in Afghanistan. Naomi's platoon had been tasked with escorting a convoy of supplies through a valley infamous for ambushes. The terrain was a nightmare. High ridges on both sides, narrow dirt paths, and no cover for vehicles. Locals called it the Canyon of No Return. Still, orders were orders. The convoy rolled forward, engines growling, dust clouds rising. Naomi rode in the middle Humvee, her rifle across her lap. Halfway through, the first RPG slammed into the lead vehicle. Flames erupted, cutting off the path. Gunfire echoed from the cliffs, raining down on the Marines from all directions. Chaos exploded. Marines dove for cover, bullets sparking off armor, radios screaming for support. "Mayday! We're surrounded! Multiple wounded! Request backup now!" But air support was 45 minutes away. Reinforcements even further. They had to survive on their own. The enemy had planned the ambush perfectly. Machine guns covered every approach. Fighters swarmed the ridgelines, firing from dug-in positions. Naomi huddled behind a wheel well, clutching her medic kit as she dragged a wounded Marine to safety. She patched his bleeding shoulder, then checked another. Around her, voices were cracking. "We're running low on ammo. They're closing in. We won't make it." Her platoon sergeant tried to rally the men, but every attempt to push out was crushed by suppressive fire. The Marines were trapped, outnumbered 10-1. Through the smoke and gunfire, Naomi's eyes drifted upward. To the left, a jagged ridge loomed above the valley. It was steep, rocky, nearly impossible to climb under fire. But if someone could get up there, they'd have a clear view of the entire battlefield. Naomi remembered the way her father used to whisper in the Oregon woods. "The high ground wins the hunt." She knew what she had to do. Naomi crawled to her platoon sergeant. "I can get to that ridge," she said. He shook his head. "Cross, that climb will kill you before you even set up." "I can make it," she insisted. "Give me 10 minutes." The sergeant hesitated. He'd already lost too many men. Sending another up there sounded like suicide. But then another RPG slammed into the convoy, showering them with debris. He finally nodded. "Go. And God help you." Naomi grabbed her pack, her sniper rifle and 3 magazines. Then she disappeared into the smoke. The ridge was as brutal as it looked. Sharp rocks tore at her gloves, dust filled her lungs, and every few seconds bullets cracked against the stones around her. But Naomi moved with determination, crawling like a shadow, using every dip and ledge for cover. Her body screamed with exhaustion, but her mind was calm. She thought of those long hunts back home. waiting in silence, trusting patience. Step by step, she climbed higher. When she finally reached the ridge, her squad below was barely holding on. Marines were crouched low, ammo nearly gone. The radio crackled. "This is it. We're finished." Naomi set up her rifle, steadied her breath, and whispered, "Not yet." The first shot cracked through the valley like thunder. A machine gunner fell silent. The Marines below froze in disbelief. Then another shot. Another enemy down. Naomi shifted positions, never firing from the same spot twice. Her shots were methodical, each one carving holes in the enemy's plan. The fighters began shouting, confused, searching for the invisible shooter. Down in the valley, Marines whispered, "Who's covering us?" "It's Cross. It's the Librarian." Her platoon sergeant's voice finally broke the radio silence. "Guardian Overwatch. Keep firing." For the next 40 minutes, Naomi Cross held the ridgeline alone. She picked off RPG teams before they could reload, silenced machine gunners who pinned her squad, even spotted the enemy commander shouting orders, and dropped him with a single shot. Every bullet bought her Marines another minute of life. Every kill broke the enemy's grip on the valley. Finally, realizing their leaders were gone and their fire was collapsing, the insurgents retreated up the mountainside. Silence fell. The ambush was broken. When reinforcements arrived, they found Naomi still on the ridge, her rifle across her lap, her breathing steady despite the exhaustion etched into her face. The Marines below stared up in awe. The quiet soldier they had dismissed as the Librarian had just saved them all. At the debrief, her platoon sergeant saluted her. "Cross," he said simply, "you wrote the book on survival today." Naomi never sought recognition. She returned to her quiet routines, cleaning her rifle, carrying her pack, helping the wounded. But the Marines she saved carried her legend. They told every new recruit about the day the Librarian climbed the ridge and silenced an entire valley. And from that day on, no one underestimated Corporal Naomi Cross again. Corporal Naomi Cross's story proves that heroes don't always look the part. She was quiet, overlooked, dismissed as a support player, until the moment she became the one voice that mattered. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who's ever been underestimated. And don't forget to subscribe to Truth Untwists for more untold military stories, where ordinary soldiers reveal extraordinary courage when the world least expects it. Because sometimes, the silence of one shot can echo louder than an army.